The Galactic Council convened in emergency session for the first time in 3,000 cycles. Ambassador Zekthor of the Vryn Collective watched as representatives from 47 species materialized in the crystalline chamber, their holographic forms flickering with barely contained panic. "Order!" The Council Arbiter's voice resonated through the hall. "We face an unprecedented crisis." Zekthor's chitinous plates clicked nervously. He knew what this was about. Everyone knew. The whispers had spread through every corner of civilized space like wildfire through dry grassland. Someone had broken the one rule. For 2 centuries, that rule had stood unchallenged, carved into the very foundation of galactic law. Do not disturb the humans. Do not engage. Do not provoke. Do not even approach their star system. It seemed simple enough. After all, humanity was barely spacefaring. Confined to their single yellow star and its handful of rocky planets, they posed no threat to the vast empires that spanned the galaxy. They were primitive, isolated, and utterly beneath notice, except they weren't. Zekthor remembered the before times when humanity had been just another curiosity, another species to catalog and forget. The Kralix Empire had thought the same when they arrived at Earth with their harvest fleets, intent on strip mining the planet and relocating its inhabitants to labor worlds. That was the last anyone heard from the Kralix, not defeated, erased. 12,000 warships gone, an empire spanning 400 worlds silent. Within 6 rotations, human vessels appeared in Kralix space, moving with impossible speed, striking with unthinkable precision. They didn't conquer the Kralix worlds. They didn't need to. They simply demonstrated what would happen if anyone ever threatened Earth again. The demonstration was terrifyingly thorough. "The Zelkari Consortium has violated the treaty," the Arbiter announced, and the chamber erupted in horrified chittering gasps and low-frequency moans of despair. "Those idiots," Zekthor muttered. The Zelkari were ambitious, young in their galactic presence and apparently blessed with more confidence than sense. The hollow projection shifted, showing a recorded transmission. A Zelkari commander stood proudly before the camera, mandibles spread in their species equivalent of a smile. "Today we reclaim our honor. The Zelkari Consortium will not bow to ancient fears and primitive species. We have entered the Sol system with a subjugation fleet of—" The transmission cut to static. Another image appeared, the Zelkari homeworld of Zelkar Prime. But something was wrong. Where their great orbital stations had floated, only debris fields remained. Where their planetary shields had glimmered, now hung silent darkness. "This was recorded 1 solar hour ago," the Arbiter said quietly. The projection zoomed in. On the night side of Zelkar Prime, lights flickered and danced, not the familiar glow of cities, but something else. Something writing itself across the face of the planet in letters thousands of kilometers tall, visible from space. Zekthor's translator struggled with the human script before rendering it. "You were warned." "Great void," someone whispered. "It gets worse," the Arbiter continued. "Show them the other feeds." New projections materialized. Across the galaxy, human ships had appeared, not in Sol but everywhere at once. They hung in orbit over the Zelkari's 73 colony worlds. They positioned themselves at every major trade route the Consortium controlled. They simply waited. "They're not attacking," Representative Quintar of the Harmony Worlds observed, her crystalline form refracting light nervously. "Why aren't they attacking?" "Because they don't need to," Zekthor said, finally understanding. "They're showing us what they could do." They appeared simultaneously across 200 light-years of space. "That's impossible. Our fastest ships take weeks to cover such distances." They did it in hours. The chamber fell silent as the implications sank in. "How long have they been able to do this?" someone asked. "That's the question, isn't it?" the Arbiter replied. "Our intelligence suggests they could have revealed these capabilities at any time in the last 50 cycles. They chose not to. They were content to remain behind their borders, to be left alone." The Zelkari took that patience for weakness. A new transmission arrived, and the Arbiter played it without preamble. A human appeared, a female by their strange dimorphic biology, wearing the simple uniform of Earth's combined defense forces. Her face was calm, her voice measured. "To the Galactic Council, we do not seek conflict. We never have. When the Kralix came, we responded proportionally. When others tested our borders, we turned them away. We asked for one thing, to be left in peace. She paused, and something ancient and dangerous flickered in her eyes. The Zelkari chose to ignore that request. We have removed their ability to make that mistake again. Their military has been neutralized. Their government has been dissolved. Their people are unharmed, and we will withdraw once new leadership has been established. Leadership that understands boundaries. The human leaned forward slightly. We make this clear to all species. Humanity will defend itself with absolute prejudice. We have shown restraint for 2 centuries because we value life, even alien life. But do not mistake restraint for inability. Do not mistake mercy for weakness. Her expression softened almost imperceptibly. Leave us alone and you will never see us again. Threaten us and you will see nothing but us, until the stars themselves grow cold. The transmission ended. Zekthor looked around the chamber at the assembled representatives, beings, from species that commanded vast fleets, controlled countless worlds, possessed technologies refined over millennia, and every single one of them looked afraid. Motion to recommit to the non-interference treaty regarding humanity, the Arbiter said formally. Further motion to expand the exclusion zone around Sol from 1 light-year to 10. Seconded, Zekthor said immediately. Along with 46 other voices, the vote was unanimous. As the council adjourned, Zekthor lingered, staring at the frozen image of the human commander. 2 centuries ago, they had been discovering fusion power. Now they could cross the galaxy in hours. What would they be capable of in another 2 centuries? Another 1,000 years? He shuddered at the thought and made a mental note to recommend the exclusion zone be expanded to 50 light-years. Some species were meant to rule the stars. Others were meant to survive them. And then there were humans, the ones you simply didn't disturb lest the stars themselves tremble at the consequences.